right, and I'm joined by Sugeesh from Medcare Hospital, which of course is one of our newer hospitals in Dubai, and we're talking about marketing in the healthcare industry. And Sugeesh is having a bit of hard time for me. I'm firing him some fairly mean questions.
That's right.
But you're doing really, really well. You mentioned that you listen to your customers, that you're doing a lot more B2C.
That's right.
In terms of your marketing. It's really consumer-based, and then working with the Ministry of Health in terms of programs and awareness campaigns for the general public.
Yeah.
How important have you seen the rise of interest in interiors, in hospital architecture, and things like menus?
To talk about the first part that you have mentioned regarding the interiors of the hospital, it does play a very important role. I mean, somebody getting into an infrastructure on an establishment that's highly clogged, people would start feeling highly uncomfortable, because any person who is addressing to the hospital or coming to a hospital would be already coming with a problem. So when they come inside a hospital, it's important to give them a warmth feeling, give them an atmosphere that can receive. This is something what we have taken care of. From day one onwards, we have taken a very precise and clarified care on providing good interiors, especially huge walkways, bigger corridors, so that people can walk around, they can move around the hospital. Even after consultation or while they're waiting for the consultation, we have arranged for them a makeshift coffee shop so that they can just go there, browse through the paper, so it doesn't give them a feeling of a hospital.
That's actually, it sounds like a minor point.
Mm-hmm.
But that's a huge point. I think you have, is it muffin break?
That's right, we have muffin break.
Down on the ground floor.
Yeah.
That I haven't seen before here in the UAE.
Yes, that's right.
I could be wrong. We really don't frequent hospitals that much, but I could be wrong. But I thought it was quite interesting to see that you had a really well-equipped little coffee shop there, because people do come to visit. Someone might need time out for the practitioner to see them.
That's
you
right.
need to kind of escape for a few minutes, and there's somewhere for you to go, and like you said, read the paper. The other thing I found very interesting in your hospital was that you have used colour. A lot of colour in the interior design, in terms of a friend of mine had just delivered a baby, and her husband invited me to see the baby.
Mm-hmm.
Fantastic, go and see the baby, and here they have this great big tangerine wall. It wasn't just all white, it was, elements of colour. How important is that to patient comfort?
Again, colour goes along with the interiors that we select. And as you look at I'm sitting here, I find very soothing colours that makes me talk more and more about the topic here. Similarly, so when you look at from that particular angle, the colour speaks about a lot. I mean, if you have good smooth colours around your corner, people like to have decorated their houses with good colours. Definitely, someone would not like to see black coloured wall when they come into a room or come into a house. They would like to see something much more colourful. Definitely, colour gives a soothing effect. Like you say, the music heals the disease. Similarly, the colour does play a very important and a vital role when you look at when it comes to healthcare. And before any colour decision has been made or for the interiors, we did have a good panel of experts who had come in from different parts of the world to give us advice and make points much more clear on how it needs to be established, what needs to be rectified during the process of construction.
What about menus? Now, I mean, as a marketing person, if you've got great food, everyone throws off at hospital food, so you must be quite happy if you've got improved menus and improved food quality.
Definitely. I mean, what's happening nowadays, the hospitals are moving towards more of custom-made menus. We have a kitchen which is dedicated towards patients alone. We have kitchens in two forms. We have one for the visitors and one for the staff, and one other one is completely dedicated for the staff, for the patients who come into the hospital. We have a dietitian in place who takes care of these particular menus, and when anybody comes into the hospital, they cannot just order what they like. They go as per the hospital or the treatment plan given by the practitioner or by the doctor, and the dietitian takes a good care of that, and then he prescribes what the patient needs to take during the stay. But for the visitors, of course, we have another panel of menu that has been arranged, and it's been arranged from one of the leading hotel groups who is operating in the hospital at this point of time, and they say it was pretty good food for the patients and for the visitors.
How difficult do you find it as a marketing person working in the field of health? Because I would guess that it can be somewhat boring. Are you able to come up with harebrained ideas for promotion? I mean,
definitely,
like things like the executive health check.
That's right, yeah.
This could be presented in a really fun way and a really good tool to market a brand.
Yeah.
Ask executives when was the last time they had a big check. You know, you check your car every few months because the guy puts the sticker on it, but how many of us check our bodies?
It's a very relevant point that you have just mentioned, Sharon. Actually, the healthcare marketing, when you look at it, it needs to be through a lot of importance for the word healthcare marketing, because people in this particular area, you might have seen a lot of people jumping into jobs that is related to product marketing, advertising, coolly advertising, but then a hospital marketing, healthcare marketing is totally different, and it's a very challenging job to look at, because you're not just promoting a hospital or a firm, you're promoting maybe 25 different specialities. And when you say 25 different specialities, means you have 25 different marketing plans that need to come up with. It's never a boring job. I mean, it's quite challenging, and I would say it's pretty tough, because I mean, if you look at any example with an A product, what you'd have one marketing plan saying one advertising panel, one PR panel, and one direct marketing effort that would be put in. So similarly, for 25 specialties, you need to have 25 advertising plans, which would be commonly, or which would be in collaboration with the parent plan of the firm itself. So definitely, I would say that healthcare marketing is very challenging, and I would say more and more people should try to come into this particular area and find the scope in this work.
What kind of people do you think would be well equipped to handle that type of job? Do you think that us with a enormous hospitality industry, that people with experience in marketing and PR in hospitality would perhaps be able to transfer their skills more easily rather than FMCG marketing?
I would say that people who are coming for healthcare marketing should come from different backgrounds, and they would not be stereotyped, that they should not be put in saying that in hospital marketing should
boxing things.
No, I would say that many marketeers do not appear, I mean, they do possess certain skills. I mean, if you say that, I mean, either they would be maybe highly skilled in the marketing communications area, or they would be barely in sales. But my advice, or rather suggestion, would be that people should start to work from all angles of marketing. They should try to come from different fields. I mean, if you have somebody coming down from the product marketing area, I'm sure he or she will be able to bring in different mix of ideas that can be implemented, because the discipline of marketing, you do not have saying that this is what you need to follow for healthcare, or this is what you need to follow for FMCG. The principles and the guidelines remain the same. It's how you apply it.
Absolutely.
I mean, what do you do for promoting a particular canned product? You choose newspaper. What do you do for healthcare? You still choose a newspaper. But the message that you're trying to put in there makes a difference.
Depends on your budget too.
It depends on your budget too.
That brings me to my next question. Pharmaceutical companies. How much of the pharmaceutical companies' intentions do you flex with? Because obviously the pharmaceutical companies have a lot of money.
That's right.
They're coming up with the drugs that you need to give patients. How much of that is influencing your marketing? Are they propping up marketing budgets?
The pharmaceutical industry is a completely different industry when you take. I mean, healthcare is a very wide and horizon industry. I mean, if you look at pharmaceutical marketing, that's a totally different ballgame. I mean, all their instructions and everything comes from the parent company, because you do have companies operating here, but you're not seeing a very large-scale pharmaceutical companies advertising their products, because all their advertisement is done through these medical establishments or the practitioners who are there, because the people cannot just go over the counter and ask for any medicine. It needs to be prescribed. So there's a guideline that will be followed. So what happens is there would be an indirect marketing that they would like to rely on, where the hospitals advertise regarding a doctor or regarding a disease or regarding any condition, so that the patient goes to that particular doctor or practitioner, and that's how that doctor communicates what's the drug that you need to take. Because you cannot directly talk about saying, take this particular drug for this particular disease. I mean, nobody would go in for a pharmacy and purchase that.
But what about when you've got competing drugs? Different drug companies?
I mean, you need to rely on
a whole other interview.
This is how I think, yes. I think definitely, like you have mentioned, and the pharmaceutical company, there's a lot of competition that comes in. But then, I mean, if I ask you as an example, would you like to take medicine A or medicine B? You would say, let me ask my doctor. He or she would be the better person to tell you that. And I think
my first question would be, what are the side effects?
But if you read
give
down,
me the
there's
fine
definitely-
print. I'm one of those people who ask the pharmacist, give me the fine print, I want to know what I'm taking. Thank you so much for joining us on the program.
Thank you, Sharon.
You've been listening to Sugeesh Chandran from Medcare Hospital, who's in charge of marketing there, and that was really great. We'll get you back to talk about the pharmaceutical companies at a later date. Keep it here on 103.8. If after the break we'll be talking about hypnosis with Dave